Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nash, and for today's video we're going to be speaking all about my 2022 financial goals. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen the list that I shared of my financial focus for this year, but I kind of wanted to create this video that I can look back on and also just give a little bit more context behind all of the things that I'm trying to make sure I do better this year. So if you're interested to see what I've narrowed the list down to, stick around. In no particular order, I'm gonna just be sharing and talking a little bit about why I chose and want to try to accomplish these things this upcoming year. First thing that I have written up here is actually because in 2021, I completed my first 52-week challenge. I did the basic one that the week equal to the amount that you would save for. So if it's the first week of the year, you save $1. If you're halfway through the year and it's week 26, you would save $26. And little by little, at the end, you end up with $1,378 from this challenge alone. So at first, it seemed so unobtainable because it's never been something that I've been able to convince myself to do. I was able to prove to myself that I could do it, so I'm upping the stakes a little bit and I'm attempting to do a $3,000 savings challenge to continue to fund my house down payment. The 52-week challenge that I did went towards a house down payment savings account that I have, and I just want to continue to save as much as I can towards a future home that I would like to purchase. So I am challenging myself to save a little bit more, and instead of the $1,300, I'm gonna try to save $3,000 by the end of the year. Now that I can see what I can do on a, beginner level, we gotta level up here. And the next thing I have up here, going towards savings, one thing that I feel like I'm having a hard time funding and reaching another $1,000 milestone is my emergency fund. I have reached $1,000. I posted about it on my page when I reached my first $1,000, and if I've had to use it, I've always been able to get myself to replenish it back. But reaching that $2,000 mark has been a little bit tough for me. So instead of just assigning myself, I have to save $25 from every paycheck or $25 from every income coming in, I just told myself to save 5% of every paycheck. I personally set aside 10% of my paycheck for my tithe. So what I'm going to be doing is, alongside with that, I'll be saving an additional 5% that's going to be going towards my general savings, which is technically my emergency fund. And I'm really excited to see how I'm able to build this up a little bit quicker, because if I get paid more, then I'm going to be saving a little bit more. And what I've noticed is I end up saving, on average, if I do this, it'll be $50+, so it'll definitely help me beef this up quicker. So I'm excited to see how much I'm able to contribute to this fund throughout the year, and hopefully no emergencies come up that I have to use it, but if I do, I know I'll have a nice chunk of money set aside. So we'll see. One goal that technically I'm trying to accomplish by next month, I have here written February 2nd of 2022. I want to reach $5,000 in my move out fund. I have a whole thing that I want to designate for this whole move out series that I'm in the process of trying to navigate through, and I definitely want to sit down and share how I was able to put all this money together in such a short amount of time, because in the middle of November I technically had $700 to $800, and your girl, I put in work. So yeah, I have weeks before I will hopefully reach it. But one thing that I definitely did this time around, for everything that I wrote here, I made sure that it was obtainable. I made sure that it was realistic, because at the start of 2021, if you were to tell me that at the beginning of 2022 I would be able to save $5,000 aside from moving out my apartment, I would not believe you. But in this last month and a half, I've been able to prove myself wrong in so many aspects when it comes to my finances that I'm just like in awe. Going off of dates, to continue on that, for May of 2022, I would like to pay off the remaining of my student loan balance. At the end of 2021, I was able to actually put an additional $3,500 towards my student loans, and it brings me down to a remaining of $2,000. And I really think that it is definitely obtainable in the next 4.5 months to pay off before interest starts to kick in, because I don't want to deal with that. And the only thing I'll actually have left is my car. So, exciting stuff. We'll see. The last goal here that I have written that actually has a date or a month that I would like to reach it by is November of 2022, and that is my Christmas fund. 2020 was the first year that I saved a big chunk of money for Christmas, and then 2021 I started as soon as January came around to save for Christmas, and then this is gonna be like my third year putting money aside, and I keep, increasing the balance of how much I want to save, but it's just because this year specifically, I will know for a fact that I will be in my own place, so there's going to be a lot more decor that I'm going to want to purchase aside from the gifts. And this past year was the first year that I was actually at a job where you do things for the holidays, like White Elephant, Secret Santa, and like dressing up for the holiday season for work. So there was a lot of unexpected expenses that came out of my Christmas fund. So this year, I would like to save $800, and I would like to try to stay under that $800. So Nash, you could do it. So those are the 4 big focuses that I'm trying to accomplish and have in the back of my head as I'm going through my month-to-month finances. And one thing that I did underneath is I put together a month-to-month mini goals. So things that I could do month to month that will help me have more money to go towards the top 4 goals, and just stuff that I want to be more mindful of that I didn't do so well in last year. The first thing that I have listed in my little mini goals is to save my change and my $1 often. Since I go back and forth from using cash in my day-to-day expenses, I know I can't commit to it fully, but if I ever come across any dollars, I definitely want to put those dollar bills into the change jar that I'm gonna have. And it's just kind of passively saving, because you're not so focused on it, because change does build up over time, and you'd be surprised how much change you can get throughout the year. The next thing is to build and maintain an account cushion. The amount of, I laugh because I just can't. I laugh because I couldn't, but I will. Because if you say that you can't, you're already preparing your mind to fail. And I will not fail. I will try my best. So last year, as I was looking at my monthly budgets throughout the year, I multiple times in multiple months tried to set aside money for my cushion. And I don't know why my brain remembers that there's money in the cushion and I use it on something else. So I definitely want to try to slowly but surely build up that cushion to be at $25 to $50 between there, to just have there as a just in case, but not just in case I want to spend some money, just in case I need it for a quick emergency so I don't have to dip into my actual emergency fund. One thing I also noticed that I wrote here that I want to try to focus on doing less of is unbudgeted or miscellaneous spending, because I had a couple months last year where the income increase definitely got to my head and I splurged, which is not bad because I don't regret it, but I need to be better about being intentional with my spending. So hopefully I will do better this year and have less of that going on. If I want it, I gotta save for it. And if I have the money set aside for it, then I can buy it. You heard? It's one thing that I have here, but it's just a reminder to myself, because I've been doing a really good job and I want to keep it up, is to avoid carrying over any credit card balances from month to month. I haven't had this issue in a long time, But I know, especially with me moving out soon and hopefully being on my own, I don't want to get back into any bad habits. So I'm trying to remind myself not to do it. Like, you don't need to use the credit card. Like, I try to be very mindful of when I use the credit card and how I use it. So that's just a reminder to myself that I can keep it up because I've done it for so long. And last up here is to restart my sinking funds. I'll get a little bit more into that in the move out video, but I depleted all of my sinking funds that I worked so hard throughout the year to save, but for good reason. And with that, I'm starting off 2022 with no sinking funds. I have a list put together of I think 7 to 8 ones that I for sure know that I want to have and I feel like have been useful to me. I definitely want to restart them. I don't know if I am going to do cash or I'm going to do digital sinking funds yet, but stick along, you might find out soon. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps up all of my 2022 financial focus of the year. I'm calling it more of a focus instead of a goal because it's just things that I'm working towards, and I don't want to be too hard on myself in case I'm not able to reach it. But as long as I'm working towards it, I'll be happy with the progress that I make on it, if that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Subscribe, join the family. I am so excited for this upcoming year and where life is taking me to share it along with you guys. So I hope you guys stick along for the journey. And yeah, if you haven't already, comment down below a goal or focus that you have for this year that you want to work towards so we can, cheer each other on, as well as hopefully inspire other people for some different ideas of how they can save more or do better for this year. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!